What is going on, guys? It's James here, or ThnxCya, and welcome to episode 1 of our question and answer series. And just a massive thank you to everyone who sent questions in, because I have so many in front of me, which is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, I'm going to have a really great time answering them, because they're a really good mix of gaming and non-gaming related questions, which is kind of what I was after. And yeah, because I have so many, I'm going to be making a few more episodes of this. So yeah, don't be too disappointed if your question isn't in this particular episode, because chances are it will be in a later episode. So yeah, there's no time like the present, so let's kick things off with a question from, I think it's Mr. Salful, but I will probably be pronouncing all of your names wrong, so I'm sorry about that. But yeah, Mr. Salful, as well as a similar question from Hoffers123, and they both ask, do you have an Xbox 360? And the answer is no, I don't actually have an Xbox 360, purely because I guess as a kid I always had a PlayStation system, so I have that kind of gaming history with the PlayStation console, as well as I do have the games collection. However, it's not because I dislike the Xbox in any way. I would actually like at some point in the future to look into buying one, because I'd really like to play the games that I've never had a chance to play before, purely because they are exclusive to the Xbox 360. So yeah, I think having both consoles would be great, but for the time being, I'm just a PS3 man. So yeah, let's move on to our second question, which is from Shablobble. I think that's how you say it. I think that's how I've written it down anyway. If it is Shablobble, that's a brilliant name. I salute you, sir. But yeah, Shablobble asks, hey, wondering what capture card you use and what your PC specs are? Well, yeah, I'm actually using the kind of standard HD PVR setup for console recording, which is yeah, kind of the usual really, and that goes through an old laptop of mine, which is actually running a copy of Total Media Extreme, which is the actual software for recording the gameplay. But then I transfer it over to this computer, which is an iMac, and I have a 3.4 gigahertz Intel Core i7 processor with an 8GB memory. It also has like an updated sound card and an updated graphics card and stuff. So I don't know what any of that means. I'm going to tell you right away. I've just read it off the screen. But yeah, for the kind of video and the music side to what I do, it kind of does the job for me. And you know, those rendering times aren't too bad. So yeah, that's great. Anyway, let's move on to a question from iCared, who says, will you ever live stream? Live streaming is something that I would like to do in the future, because I think it's a really cool way to interact with you, because he has put in brackets with subs, question mark, and yeah, it would be something that I'd like to do. However, the only problem that I have is that my sort of computer and my gaming console and stuff are on opposite sides of the room, so I kind of want to do it all with the camera and stuff, but I don't really know anything about it just yet, so I might look into that at some point, and then hopefully in the future, if enough people are interested in coming to watch me play and getting involved and playing with me sort of live on YouTube, then yeah, I'd definitely look into doing that. So yeah, next question, which is a great one from MZ who asks me, what is your favourite film or film genre? Yeah, I think my favourite genre is, I do like the kind of action adventure films and, you know, those big blockbusters, but I do kind of like films where they have like a criminal element to them. Like, I don't really know, I can't really explain that as a genre, but I guess kind of adventure cop drama type thing would be cool. As well as my favourite film, actually, which is a complete contrast to that, is a film called A Clockwork Orange, which is starring Malcolm McDowell, and he is actually in a brilliant film as well called If, which is of a similar time period. So if you haven't seen those films, I strongly recommend them. But yeah, next question is from Aaron the Madman, and a similar question actually by Pixel Drone, and they ask a great question, which is, what made you want to start / inspired you to start putting videos on YouTube? And Pixel Drone also asks, how did you get the money to buy the equipment? which I will answer. What made you start making YouTube videos and stuff? Well, I actually discovered Machinima Respawn completely by chance, because back then gaming videos really weren't that big. This is probably over 3 years ago now. But I discovered Machinima Respawn, and actually the first video that I watched was by a guy called Tabe. I'm sure you know who he is. But yeah, I kind of just love this format of talking over gameplay. And this was even before I started playing Call of Duty, so I bought Call of Duty and started getting into it. But it wasn't until a few years later that I actually made this channel and started putting videos up. So yeah, I think I was inspired by the greats of the game, I suppose. You know, Tabe, Cnan, as any use we played, Hutch, those kind of iconic figures. But yeah, I think it was just a case of getting rid of that apprehension and finally, getting the guts to post that first YouTube video and seeing how it was, perceived. And thankfully for me, I got a lot of support, which was absolutely amazing. And yeah, here I am today. Yeah, and how do I get the money for the equipment? Well, obviously I am 21, so I think as you get a little bit older, I think you kind of start to get used to interacting with sort of more larger sums of money, I suppose, because you do obtain them in one form or the other. But yeah, I'm not really into like going out at night and going to clubs and stuff, which a lot of people do for my age. So instead of spending money on like drink and alcohol and stuff, I just save my money and buy kind of physical things, which I'm not saying anything against the people who do, but that's personally my preference of how to do it, really, because yeah, I know some people like to spend it on a lifestyle when I like to spend it on games and stuff because I'm a massive nerd. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, probably last question for the episode is from Rapidash, or XX Rapidash. And he says, hey, I was wondering what programs you used to make my first Call of Duty. Oh, and do you like peanut butter sandwiches? Well, I actually used Cubase 5 to record the music and Sony Vegas Pro 10 to make the video and edit it and render it and stuff. And do I like peanut butter sandwiches? Well, yeah, I do, but it's one of those things where I have half the sandwich and then I enjoy it, but I look at the second half and things start to get a bit sickly, you could say. And I start to look at it and wonder if I am actually enjoying it or not. So I guess I do, but up to a point. I think that's the best way I could say that. So yeah, that's it for episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't worry if your question wasn't featured, it will be in the next episode or the one after that. So yeah, thank you so much for submitting your questions. Stay tuned for the next episode. As always, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks, and see ya.